Hello, my name is Alejandro Martinez, and this is my senior project on the design and implementation of a database system for Boltabout, an electric bicycle rental company here in SLO. I would like to start off by talking about some of the things that I'll be presenting and addressing today. The first one will be the origin of the project and the problem statement. Then I would like to touch on some of the background information that I think it's required to understand where the problem is coming from and what the solutions are based on. Also, it is important to know the deliverables of the project, to know where we're going, and also the current state of the system, and some of the design ideas and the future plan for this project. Well, the origin of the problem came from Boltabout's expanding customer base and the fact that the current operations are just not fit to meet the demand for a growing company. Specifically, there's no database management system that is user-friendly and can be used by everyone at the company. Currently, they are using a database that is poorly designed, and the data that they currently have on the system is not accurate. It has a lot of data holes and is just not easy to use, so not everyone can use it. So some of the future needs is the need for a secure database and also statistical outputs that the company can use to make better decisions. Currently, what they need is a standard or standardized data entry process that is user-friendly, as I mentioned, and also a simplified data recording system. Alright, so the background information currently, things that we need to know in order to understand the situation of the company is, first, that this is a young startup. Boltabout was started last year, so what this means is that their processes are still being improved, they're still being designed, and the company is still trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work for their specific market. Also, the company deals with sensitive client data. What this means is that the information that they ask for or they record from their clients could potentially be misused, such as client cell phone number, client driver's license, and also clients' addresses. So it is important to have a secure database to ensure that this data is just not accessible or not available to anybody who comes across this database. We need to understand from this project is how important output data is. The last thing we need to understand is how important the output data statistics is for decision making for the company. Now let's talk about some of the deliverables of this project, which means what will be the end product. First, there's going to be an extensive literature review that provides background information about database management systems, some of the components, that go into database management systems such as tables, queries, code. Second, the design process, methodology, and documentation utilized to create the database, such as ER diagrams, tables, charts, etc. Also, the most important deliverable is the Microsoft Access database file itself. And lastly, recommendations for optimal use, maintenance, and if necessary in the future, how to properly manipulate or adjust the database. The last part of my presentation will be about the current state of the project, some of the design aspects that I'm planning on incorporating into my project, and the future plan. Currently, I have the current database being used by the company, the input data that they get from their clients, and also the desired process and outputs that Boltabout would like to get out of this database. So now that we have the input data and the desired outputs, we can move on to the design. For the design, we will need to focus on creating the necessary data tables, queries, designing the attribute connections, forms, and the database interface in order to use the inputs that we have available to create the desired outputs, making sure that we meet all the desired criteria from Boltabout. So the next step would be to begin creating the ER diagrams and other tools used to design the database. That would be followed by creating the Microsoft Access database file to translate the diagrams and tables previously designed into the actual database file. And that's the current state of the project.